Hare Krishna. So after speaking about mode of goodness, Sattva Guna, mode of passion, Rajo Guna, now Krishna is bringing our attention to Tamo Guna and how Tamo Guna binds the living entity in this material world. This he is speaking in Shloka number 8. Tamastvajnanajam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam pramadalasya nidrabhes tannibhadnati bharata. O son of Bharat, Arjuna, tamastu agnana jam vidhi. Know that tamas, the mode of darkness, is born of agnana or ignorance. And then he says, mohanam sarvadehinam, and it puts all the embodied living entities into delusion. And what else it does? It gives rise to pramada. The results of this modes are pramada, madness, alasya, laziness or indolence, and nidra, that is sleep. And this binds the conditioned soul. Tan nibadnati, this binds the conditioned soul. So in Sattva Guna we saw that the person is bound to happiness and knowledge. Rajoguna we saw the person is bound to material fruitive actions. And now here we see that the person in mode of ignorance is bound to madness, laziness and sleep. So all these three modes, when we are analyzing, we should analyze for ourselves and self-introspect, which mode am I in? So let's discuss some details so that we can analyze for ourselves that which category we belong to. Now here it is said that the word tu is very significant. Why? This means that the mode of ignorance is a very peculiar qualification of embodied soul. And also this word tu is actually saying that this mode of ignorance is exactly opposite to mode of goodness, and it also opposes the mode of passion. Now here it is said that mode of ignorance is opposite to mode of goodness. Now in mode of goodness, what was the thing? In mode of goodness, by development of knowledge, one can understand what is what. There's a lot of clarity in mode of goodness. But when it comes to in mode of ignorance, what happens? Under the spell of mode of ignorance, the madness, pramada that is there, so this pramada actually blocks the person's vision and he cannot understand what is what. So in this way we see that mode of ignorance is opposite to that of mode of goodness. This pramada, madness, makes it opposite. And now when it comes to mode of passion, instead of making advancement, one becomes degraded. So ideally every living entity should make advancement, but then it becomes degraded. Now another quality of mode of ignorance is laziness, alasya. Now we see in mode of passion, the person is very enthusiastic. He is very, very passionate to do various things. And exactly opposite of that is laziness. The person don't want to do anything. So here we understand that how this ignorance is opposite to that of goodness, and also it is opposite to passion. And here we see when it comes to goodness, the person is working purely. And when it comes to passion, see whatever fruits he is getting, whatever results he is getting, in future maybe he can offer it to Krishna. But when it comes to ignorance, it produces nothing. It just produces ignorance and nothing else. So here we see that this tamoguna is actually very degraded. And also when it comes to sattva guna, goodness, inactivity is there. The person will not get into various passionate activities, but that is backed up with knowledge. But in laziness, in ignorance, again inactivity is there, but this is based on lack of knowledge. So in this way we see that how ignorance is opposite to goodness and passion. There is a nice example that is given to understand about this ignorance. Now when in the family, when someone elder he dies, so it is seen that so many people in the past have died. So it also proves, or it goes on to say, that all the ones who are born now, they are also going to die. But a person who is in ignorance will always feel that I will not die. Come what may, I will not die. This is called as in complete illusion. The person is in complete illusion thinking nothing will happen to me. This question was asked to Yudhishthir Maharaj, that what is the most surprising thing in this world? And Yudhishthir Maharaj said that so many people keep dying every single day, but still the person thinks, still other people think that no, they are not going to die. This is very, very surprising for me. And this is a fact. If we properly analyze for ourselves also, how much serious are we about this topic of death? Every now and then, we keep hearing in news channels and newspapers and people talking, oh, this person died. Oh, this person died of this disease, that person died of accident. Oh, this earthquake killed so many people. Car accident, bus accident killed so many people. And we are seeing all this and sitting at home and thinking, nothing will happen to me. This is purely ignorance. So, we have to understand one thing, that just talking about this aspect of death, anytime we can die, because our lifespan is compared to the lifespan of water bubble on the surface of water. No one can tell when the water bubble will burst. Similarly, no one can tell when we will die. So it's very important that we come out of this ignorance and have a proper vision and a proper knowledge that I can die anytime. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to practice bhakti intensely, because death is the examination and preparation is devotional service. So we have to prepare it very nicely. So if we don't know when the exam is going to come, because Yamraj will come and he'll say, surprise! Surprise exam. So when it comes to surprise, if we know that exam is going to be surprise, then we have to be prepared before itself. So every single day, we have to ask ourselves that am I doing justice to the opportunity that is given to me? That is practice of devotional service. Am I doing it properly or not? If not, then it's high time. We have to enthusiastically practice. Good amount of time should be invested in practicing devotional service, or else this ignorance will just gulp us. And surely we will realize, but our realization will be towards the end. It will be very, very late. Very, very late. So such people are ignorant, who think that they will never die. And those people who are there, still when they understand that death is sure, but still they are madly accumulating money and working very hard all day and night, not caring for the eternal spirit. This is madness. In their madness, they are very reluctant to make advancement in spiritual understanding. This is what we have seen personally. When people are approached to take Bhagavad-gita, read Bhagavad-gita, understand what is there and understand eternal goal of life, no, we don't have time. What are you doing, Baba, full day? Oh, has so much of work. So much of work is there, day and night I have to work. For what? For money. Okay, money is there, but then the question is, will this money save me at the end of life? Obviously, Bhagavad-gita doesn't say that don't earn. But Bhagavad-gita says that take some interest in spiritual life also. Don't get engrossed so much in material life that we completely ignore the spiritual life, and finally when the death comes, at that time we start lamenting, oh, why I didn't take it seriously. So this madness is something which we can see in this world. People are really mad, and so they don't give any attention towards advancement of spiritual knowledge or advancement in spiritual life. And also, such people are very lazy. When they are invited to associate for spiritual understanding, they are not much interested. This laziness, procrastination, all these things are proper signs of ignorance. So it's very important that we have to force ourselves in our initial days of devotional service to attend satsang, to associate with devotees. Because we have to go out of the way sometimes to associate with devotees, to understand the knowledge given in Shastra. No problem, we have to. If we don't, then we will not be able to advance. So whenever we think that, oh, today let me skip, immediately we have to say, no, I'll not skip, no, I'll get back. Because as soon as the thought comes, let me skip, it means we're getting into ignorance. And as soon as that thought comes, we have to just bounce back, no, I'll not skip. Whatever it is, it might be watching Shloka a day videos, It might be attending some other online satsang or physical satsang, or it might be reading Bhagavad-gita, reading Bhagavatam, or doing some other service, or chanting extra rounds, or whatever it is. As soon as we get the thought, let me skip, we should bounce back saying, I will not skip. And we should do that activity. In this way only we will be able to progress, or else this laziness, which is the quality of ignorance, will actually gulp us. And they are not even active like man who is controlled by the mode of passion. Thus, another symptom of one embedded in the mode of ignorance is that he sleeps more than is required. 6 hours of sleep is sufficient, but a man in the mode of ignorance sleeps at least 10 or 12 hours a day. This is another thing which is very common in the age of Kali. People just want to sleep for a long time. And when they get up at 10 o'clock, it's like, oh, I got up early today. Early means Brahma Muhurta. Brahma Muhurta means the time between 3:40 a.m. till 6:30 a.m. That is Brahma Muhurta. That is called as early, not 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock. So it is a very important thing to note that somehow we have to manage our sleep very properly, and we have to take 6 hours of sleep. And it is said when we sleep from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock at night, 9 p.m. to 12 p.m., we get very sound sleep. And those are 3 hours, but we get the rest of 6 hours. From 12 a.m. till 3 a.m., that is at night. So that is 3 hours, and it gives 3 hours of rest only. Now in Brahma Muhurta, from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., the sleep that we get is 3 hours, but the rest that we get is only 1.5 hours. And after 6 a.m., there is no question of rest, because we are very active, mind is active, and even if we sleep, we will not get rest. So we should see that how the nature has given, or we should analyze that nature has given us some way of living life. Why not subscribe to that than making one's own lifestyle and modifying it and spoiling it? So this sleeping is very important, and oversleeping is something which will spoil the person. Such a man appears to be always dejected and is addicted to intoxicants and sleeping. These are symptoms of a person conditioned by the mode of ignorance. So more the time we sleep, more we will be into ignorance. And more we are into ignorance, we'll get into so many nonsensical activities like intoxication and others. And when we get into that, such addictions will just go deeper and deeper and deeper in this darkness, in this mode of ignorance, and it will be very difficult to come out of it. So as we devotees, we have to be very careful. We have to make our lifestyle in such a way that most of the time we spend in mode of goodness, and practice our devotional service, and we can elevate ourselves higher than goodness, which is called as pure goodness. Now Krishna has given us detailed knowledge about goodness, passion, ignorance. Now Krishna is going to summarize all three of them in the next shloka. So let's see that in the next video. Hare Krishna.